So kasi,
Makulit kasi sila kahit sa social media, kaya magtatanong sila, paano gawin to? Kasi hindi nila makita yung nasa libro. So sabi ko, ito na lang, tignan nyo, tapos i-share nyo na lang. Tapos yung pagpasa nila, mas naging consistent tsaka mas mataas yung yung percentage ng mga nagpapasa. At saka yung quality mas mataas. Then yung video.
hindi ko rin kayang gawin yan. Kaya nga, I invited yung mga physical science to come and attend. Hindi ko lang alam. I-remind ko nga pala sila. Kasi ito talaga yung isa sa mga request nila na session. Ma-remind nga sila.
Video. Ang kapatid ko nanghihingi ng link. Pagtitripan lang ako nun sa bahay.
Siyempre dapat supporting at mga parenting. May tayo ngayon. Alam ba ng daddy mo na
Alam nila ma'am, ayaw nga nila ako pera may ng laptop kagabi.
supportive ah.
Hindi ma'am. Lang gusto dyan. Ano lang yan, mapangasar lang yung mga colonies na bago.
So dyan sa bahay na yan, ikaw lang kayong dalawa lang nakatira?
3 po ma'am. Si Janina pa po.
Si Janina. ECQ, hindi na siya nakakapunta dyan.
Hindi ma'am. Rolling siya dito nung Sabado lang, umalis siya.
Diyan na ba rin siya nagtuturo sa Pasig?
Yes ma'am, magkasama na po kami. Ay, bakas ng pizza.
That's good. Ayan na. So,
Yun, okay na.
Eko. Good morning, Ma'am Ederdine. Welcome to the show.
Good morning.
Yung isang camera mo ba, yung sa PC lang? Or siya, sa laptop?
Laptop. Pagkatapos ito po sa tablet. Yung PC ko ma'am, nandun sa loob. Wala siyang webcam. Tsaka ang pangit ng kwarto ko niya. Check. Yun yung lusot dun sa isa.
Nakatanggap pa kayo ng ayuda, ng teacher's ayuda galing kay Vico?
Sa teachers ma'am, wala po. By family lang po niya.
Isa ng fan na mating. Good morning, Joey. Good morning, Ninyo. Musta?
Ay, Ninyo! Hi! Dati puro tayo.
Natatakpan yung yung genius na forehead. Kailan napasukan yun, Nin? August din?
Yung matatapos namin dapat gawin before 24.
Ready na ba kayo, Ninyo, sa mga modules nyo? Okay naman, walang problem.
Sir ER.
Nelson, ER is here.
Hi,
hello,
sir.
good morning. Chika Bells.
Good morning to everyone.
Hi, Sir Nelson. Good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Gising ka na ba?
Wow, bedroom boys.
Sorry. Eto, nag-catch up sa inyo. Nice one. Thank you, Aaron.
Hindi ko pa rin talaga alam, sir, ba't ako nandito.
Highly recommended. Because pwede na magsimula.
Nag-hiking nature trail last Sunday.
Wow.
Nasa China na platform.
Galing. Nag-hiking ka na bago boses mo.
Good morning, Beam. Okay, shall we begin? Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Coffee Talk Online with Vic Marie. Today is July 7, 2020, and we are again having this session, second session in the season 2 of our Coffee Talk Online. So before we'll begin, let's pray. Lord, thank you for your wonderful presence in our midst today. We thank you, Lord, for the lives and for the blessings that we receive throughout the day and for the protection and the provision that you have given us throughout this quarantine, Lord, that we pray, Lord, that you continue to heal our land and reduce all those cases that are being reported, Lord, that we will be able to go back to normal as early as possible. Lord, we pray, Lord, for wisdom for our guest today, that he will be able to share something that would be very useful to other teachers as well, and we would be able to continue to deliver quality education in our country. In Jesus' name, we pray. Amen. Okay, just a friendly reminder, during the talk, I encourage you to mute your mic and then close your video windows and use the chat box for your questions. And if you want to ask questions while the speaker is speaking, just notify the speaker if you want to raise a question during the talk. Okay, this show is brought to you by our sponsors, the Nescafe Classic. And for your financial coaching needs, you may refer to my friend Adolfo Roque, who is a financial advisor, and try to see his contact number in this screen. Okay. Coffee Talk Online has already an FB page. So if you want to be updated by all those what is happening in the science education and the sharing of science teachers from this Coffee Talk, you just have to, visit this page or like this page so you will be updated on what we are trying to post almost every week in this program. And then, if you also want to, review all those coffee talk sessions that we had already a season one with 6 episodes, and you can find this in the YouTube channel Learn with Vic Marie. Previously, for our first episode for the season two of the Coffee Talk, we had our brightest star, the guest, Miss Mary Grace F. Bumanlag, who was sharing with us about the DepEd readiness and online resources that she was able to curate from all those seasons of attending a lot of webinars during the quarantine. So this session is very helpful for those who are really writing and improving the lessons that they have for the next school year. So try to visit Learn with Vic Marie, and this is also being uploaded already. Okay, so this morning we will have a guest who is also very near to us. He is part of what you call as the historical Laudentias in our department. So when you say the Laudentias, we will be able to really remember that this family of four really were able to be admitted at the Philippine Normal University, and all of these four graduated with BSE Physics. So, historical ito kasi lahat sila ay physics major. Tinatanong ko sila before kung this was really their first choice, pero lahat sila nagsasabi na it is not, because their father is a physics teacher and the father wanted to promote physics education in the country. So he wanted his children to enroll. So the first one is Audie, and then the next one is Aaron, Aye, and Joey. So Joey is with us today. So Audie is a physics teacher, and when I interviewed him before, he wanted to be designer. Pero ngayon, when I stalked his FB, parang nasa sports, siya, mountain climbing ang kanyang gusto. And Aaron, who's also not so keen on being a physics major, has a lot of interest. He is also building his music band. And then Aye, who just graduated from medicine. Congratulations, Aye. We were really hoping and praying for your success. And hopefully, we'll have a free consultation kung may mga problema kami sa health. And then Joey is I think, the model of the family. And sa kanilang apat, tatlo sa kanila ay nagiging estudyante ko. And then I was not able to handle Joey kasi I had another assignment in the university, but I've known them well. So we will be able to hear one representative from this family to share with us today. And I would like to welcome Aaron Laudentia to this show. And he will be telling us about preparing videos for science classes. So Aaron, good morning, and
Morning, ma'am.
welcome to the show. Okay, Aaron.
Hi, Ma'am Bimbim. Binabati din kita. Siya po yung city ko.
Okay, Aaron. Nag-usap kami ni Sir ER kahapon at tinanong ko siya kung natandaan ba niya kung anong year ka graduate. So, what year did you graduate from the university?
I graduated the year 2012 po.
2012. So from 2012, that was 8 years ago. And then, from all those Laudentias that we handled, we expected na ikaw yung unang mag-bolt out from the teaching. So how are you after 8 years? Where did you go? Can you tell us kung ano nangyari sa'yo after 2012?
Okay, after 2012 po, dumiretso ako sa private school, San Beda, Taytay. And I worked there for 1 year. Pagkatapos po, lumipat na ako ng public sa Mangaan High School. And I stayed there for 7 years until now. Dire-diretso na po yun. Hindi na ako umalis sa teaching kahit mukhang ako yung pinakaunang aalis. Nauna po umalis si Kuya.
So,
So,
kumusta na si Audie? Is he still in the teaching?
Actually, si Kuya, ano yun eh, Burgis yun eh. My brother is now teaching in an international school. He is teaching in Beacon Academy. Yun po yung may mga bata na pag sinabi nilang ano, gaya ilabas ang chopper, may lumalabas na chopper. Ganun.
Okay. And then, si Joey?
Si Joey po, nagtatrabaho din dito malapit sa amin, San Lorenzo Senior High. Ang handle niya po ngayon ata ay grade 12. Science din.
Okay, so kumusta naman ang preparation dyan sa Pasig in terms of yung how you will be able to handle yung online classes niya?
Pasig. Hi, ma'am. Nagpe-prepare na po kasi kami agad ng mga materials. Tapos, as sinabi po doon sa ating news, nagre-ready po si Vivo ng mga tablet. Ang pinaprepare po ng mga teachers is kung ano po yung ilalagay namin sa tablet.
So, how are you in your preparations? Ilang percentage na?
Hindi ko po alam pagdating sa percentage, pero as of now, kinocomplete po muna namin yung first quarter ng lahat ng subjects. Tapos, ginagawa po namin sila lahat ng video presentation by PowerPoint. Ginagawan sila ng activities. Tapos, ginagawan po sila lahat ng module. All to be submitted, compiled, and placed in the tablets na ibibigay po sa mga bata. And then, para naman po sa mga hindi makakatanggap ng tablet pero nangangailangan pa rin po, magpe-print po kami ng mga modules at saka activities na pinrepare ng mga writers. Kasama po ako.
Okay, so happy ka ba sa ginagawa mo ngayon?
Hindi. Ang hirap magsulat ng libro at ang daming kailangan tignan ng mga applications, kailangan mag-check ng plagiarism, kailangan mag-check ng grammar. So meron kaming Grammarly, meron kaming pang-check ng, nakalimutan ko yung pangalan ng app, basta meron kaming pang-check ng plagiarisms. Pagkatapos kailangan maghanap ng sources na free. It's either you source it free or you get one yourself, you make one yourself. Tapos, tsaka nyo lang siya pwedeng isubmit, and then multiple revisions after. I had stories ng mga teachers na umabot sila ng 10 revisions or more. Balik ng balik. So it's a tedious process, it's tiring, pero kapag natapos namin siya, it's well worth it. Kasi at least at that point, we can secure na ready na yung mga bata na turuan kasi kompleto na yung gamit.
Okay, so dahil napag-usapan na natin to, we would like to know kung ano na yung how you prepared your video presentations in your studio. Sige, go ahead and do your presentation, Aaron. Thank you nga pala for accepting this invitation.
Okay, welcome po pala sa aking studio. Technically, ito na po yung studio. Ito yung ginagamit namin kapag nagre-record kami ng mga videos. Pero ang makikita nyo pa lang po na video na available ngayon ay instructional videos regarding paano gumawa ng project. Kasi this all started with me na kinukulit ako ng mga bata everyday. So yung mga bata, nilalapitan nila ako, sir, paano po ito gawin? Paano po ipa-perform tong project na to? Kasi yung meron silang module na black and white. Yung black and white na yon, ang problema po kasi is hindi makita yung mga process. So what I did was create a video. May tumatawag sa akin. Sige lang.
May commercial muna tayo. Baka tinatawag sa sir. So habang inaantay natin si Sir Ma'am Vic. So Ma'am Pesanta, anong update sa buhay natin ngayon?
Wala, ganun pa din ako. Senior pa din. Ano ba?
Sige, back to programming.
Delivery.
Okay.
So yan, back to ano. So kinukulit po ako ng mga bata. I made a video na ako yung mismong gumagawa ng project para makita nila yung step-by-step process. And dun po kami nagsimula. And as of now, meron kaming isang channel dedicated for that. Surprisingly, 3 taon na siya. Meron siyang 400 subscribers.
pero yung views niya ay umaabot na ng 20,000 all in all. Gamit lang yung 3 video na naka-upload. So here I have this channel right here. Ito po yun, Science Survival. And makikita niyo po, meron kami diyang 3 video pa lamang. One of them reaching 18K and the other one reaching 10K. Yan po yung mga project na pinapakita ko sa mga bata. And ito yung mga videos na tinutukoy nila regarding sa instruction. Pero yung ipapakita po namin or yung ipapalabas namin sa mga bata dito sa Pasig ay iba. The problem with that is, ang format po niya is parang ganito. It will be in the form of a PowerPoint presentation that has narration. Na wala po akong problema dyan. Yan po ang pinakamabilis na paraan na paggawa ng video na instructional na kompleto, comprehensive, at madaling i-distribute. Now, the problem with that is audience retention. Karamihan po sa atin ay tinatamad tumingin sa mga presentation, lalo na kung tayo ay nasa video chat lang, kasi po we have the tendency to use other devices habang may nagpe-present. As of now, actually kahit kami noon, kapag may meeting kami sa Zoom, kapag nag-mute kami pagkatapos medyo alam namin yung tinuturo, we go and chat our groups and we discuss anong pwedeng gawin. Minsan nagdi-discuss kami ng unrelated topics and yun po yung kailangan nating intindihin. Sa paggawa ng science video, engagement and retention is the number one thing that we have to address. So I'll start with my presentation po. This is my basic video production. So sa basic video production po, simple lang ang kailangan natin. Meron po tayo talagang 2 lang na kailangan. You have your content and your presentation. Pero if you're talking about the lecture all in all, the lecture would always include interactions and evaluation. So you have fundamentals of a video for lecture or remedial. Kasi po, again, yung binigay ko po na video before sa mga bata is for remediation process. So let's continue with the first one, content. Alam na po natin to, pinaka-basic sa lahat. Ito po ang ating lesson plan. Check the content, organize the content, simplify the content, and personalize. Now, when I talk about personalize your content, I mean, we have to think about who are we talking to. If you are making an instructional video, a lecture video, of course, you are talking about all the students, and we are taking this in a formal manner, so we should be talking in English. Pero kapag ang kinakausap po natin ay slow learners at gumagawa tayo ng remedial video, kailangan po natin gumawa ng remedial video dahil ang mga bata, usually hindi sila nakikinig agad. Mahirap kunin yung kanilang attention. So we have this Taglish para mas madali po dun sa mga bata natin na kikilalanin natin as slow learners. Okay po? And we have to remember that students may be unsupervised. Kung unsupervised, ibig sabihin yung mga magulang nila, hindi sila tinitignan kung nakikinig talaga sila o hindi. And being teachers away from the class. Kasi po, hindi naman tayo pwedeng palagi naka-video chat sa kanila everyday to check up on them. Kung nakikinig sila, pwede nilang patayin yung video nila at saka yung audio nila at gumawa ng ibang bagay. Them being unsupervised, kailangan po nating tandaan that it should be engaging. Next, some materials are not available at home. Ito po yung isa sa pinakamalaking dahilan kung bakit natin kailangan gumawa ng lecture video and remedial videos. An example of which is kapag nagturo ka ng flame test, yung mga chemicals po ay hindi available sa bahay nila. So what you have to do is to make a video presentation that shows how the flame test is conducted and ano po yung mga results nila. Okay po. So the next one is presentation. So the presentation is divided into 3. You have your video, you have your audio, and you have your post. So let's start with the video. Let's start with this one. Meron po kayong makikitang sample doon sa may taas. Ito. Ako yan doon sa isang video na in-upload ko. So you have your video framing. You have your provide space. You have to remember where they are and keep everything close and out of sight. So when you say provide space, ayan po yung naandito sa may gilid. kung makikita niyo po sa video, there is a lot of empty space on my left and my right. And that is used for effects and materials na ipopost. Kailangan po nating tandaan, kapag nag-video, kung hindi malayo yung camera natin, we have to move to one side. If you move to one side, that gives ample space para sa mga effects natin. Next, remember where the effects are going to show. Kasi po minsan kailangan medyo interactive tayo. Ipapakita natin, lalabas natin yung kamay natin to the side. Next, keep everything close, but keep everything out of sight. Wait lang. Let's keep this for a second. And I'll show you something.
Ayan. Hello po. So,
kung makita niyo po sa gilid ko, walang kahit anong gamit. Pero, if I reach out, nandito lahat ng mga gamit na gagamitin ko for my presentation. At lahat sila malinis. Hindi niyo sila makikita. Sila ay nakatago. Meron pa dito ganito kahabang ilaw. Meron tayo mga mic sa gilid for presentations and samples. And that is how you keep everything clean. Okay, I'll go back to my screen. Next, keep everything close, but keep everything out of sight. Yun po ang kailangan nating tandaan. Dapat malinis pong tignan, tapos dapat nagugulat sila kung saan nanggagaling yung mga gamit kasi that would keep them entertained. Kapag hindi nila nakikita, tapos biglang may lumalabas, nakakatuwa yun kasi parang magic. Bata po ang kausap natin dito, tandaan po natin yan. So kung hindi man kayo na-amaze na marami nakatago dyan, yung ibang bata doon, lalo na yung mga lower years. Hindi ko alam kung bakit, pero na-amaze sila na may mga gamit, sobrang daming gamit sa paligid. Next po, regarding the video, let's check our location and background. Now, if you see, dito po sa dalawang video na to, you would think na yung isa medyo cluttered, tapos yung isa medyo plain. Pero, as you can see, wala naman pong nangyayari sa background nung nasa picture sa taas. Everything is clean, technically. There is nothing happening there. Mas clean naman po yung nandoon sa baba. Avoid having a brighter background. Now, kapag ganito po kasi, usually, nangyayari kapag nakatalikod tayo sa bintana. Nagkakaroon po ng tinatawag na backlight. Pagkatapos, hindi nyo po makikita yung subject. Hindi nyo makikita yung host. And last, avoid high contrast. Kapag yung background nyo po ay black, katulad nito, pagkatapos biglang white, mahirap po maglagay ng text. Okay, tandaan po natin kapag meron black at white, avoid those spaces. Huwag nyo silang gagamitin as background. Dahil mahirap maglagay ng text sa high contrast. Mahirap po silang basahin. Next, lighting and equipment. You don't need a ring light. A white wall is your friend. Sunlight is unpredictable and harsh, and avoid using glossy materials, plastic, glass, and shiny metal. So nakikita po natin yung mga nagsisetup po, no? Meron po silang mga gamit. At pabalik po tayo doon sa ating... Ay, mali. Pabalik po tayo sa mga pinakita kong gamit kanina. Escape natin yan. And let us use this again. Stop presenting. I'll show you again my things. Again, ilaw, basic na ilaw, katulad po nito, nito, at nito. Lahat po sila ay pwede natin gamitin sa paggawa ng video. Hindi po iyan mahirap hanapin. Ito po ay makikita sa hardware around 100 plus lang. I have one setup above me. Kaya kapag gusto ko mag-record, it's always ready. I just turn it on. And we have these things. Ito po. Yan, dito rin, papakita ko na. Yan. They are small flashlights and they are good for small areas. Kaso ang problema, they show a lot of shadow. And lastly, ito po. Para ako nagbibenta sa Shopee, no? Pakimay na lang po. Ito po, ang tawag po dito ay reflector. Yan. Malaking white thing na ginagamit to reflect light. And this is important for me kasi kapag ginamit namin to, yan. So makikita nyo po, no? Yung mukha ko may shadows. Left and right and medyo madilim. Pero pag ginamit namin to, yan, Pero pwede na akong promodizer. Yung shadows, they lighten up. It bounces light to your subject. Ngayon, kung ilalagay natin siya sa malakas na source ng ilaw katulad nito, that can be used as a good soft light. Kapag gumamit po tayo ng soft light, hindi na siya masakit sa paningin ng ating mga students or manonood. Okay. Let's go back to my sharing. Okay, next, video elements. Napakadali naman po nito. Ito po ay mga nakalagay sa gilid-gilid ng ating mga videos. Let's hide this. Ito po, at saka ito, you call this elements or items na for informational purposes. You display the text or important text in bold para catchy. Yan po. Madali lang po magdagdag ng text sa videos. Indicate the sources, katulad po nito. Meron po kayong makikita ang mga maliliit na text sa baba. Those are the sources of everything in here sa video sa baba. Next, insert a few jokes or memes to keep it light. Tandaan po natin, ang kausap po natin ay bata. Mabilis silang mabagot. Merong chance na gumamit sila ng phone habang piniplay yung video. Hindi nila kailangang makinig. So, kailangan po natin silang entertain. Watch out for copyrighted elements. Kung yan po ay gagamitin ng isang buong city, tulad namin, or ilalabas sa YouTube para gamitin ng lahat, pwede po kayong mabigyan ng copyright strike at pwede po kayong makulong. Please make sure that you have proper elements. Now, regarding that, meron naman po tayo ditong mga pwedeng pagkunan like these. Now, you just have to type royalty-free photos and you have all these na pwede nyo pong pagkuhanan. Okay po. So, usually, pixels ako kumukuha. And then, you just type what you need. Kunwari, atom. And then, lalabas na po yung searches. Atomic bomb, atomized, at ito na po yung iba. And they are for free. You can download them, tas hindi po kayo makakasuhan. Wala pong problema doon. That aside, meron pa po tayong mga video, royalty-free videos. Type nyo lang royalty-free. Usually, Storyblock or Shutterstock. Diyan po ako kumukuha. Okay po. So again, ito may login to, pero ito type nyo lang yung mga kailangan. Type nyo lang po yung mga kailangan. Pagkatapos, lalabas na po yun dyan ng kusa. Okay, next. Audio. Provide the highest possible clarity to audio. Ang lahat po ng video, kapag meron silang visual quality na medyo subpar, hindi kagandahan, medyo okay lang po yun. Ang kailangan lang po natin is mas magandang audio. Kasi po sobrang nakakainis sa lahat ng tao. Lalo na kayo kapag nasa meeting. Usually, kapag nakakarinig kayo ng manok, ng aso, ng static, ng aircon, ng electric fan, ang sakit sa ulong pakinggan. So, you'd rather not. Please make sure you are void and free of all sounds except the voice. So, dun po sa baba nakalagay, use good quality background music. Free music is available on YouTube Music Library. And remember to indicate the titles and artist of the song. Kailangan po ba maglagay ng kanta sa video? The answer po is no. You just need a good background music. So kapag chinek niyo po yung mga videos na ginawa ko, meron po sila lahat background music na parang naglalaro lang kayo ng game. They always have that soft, subtle music na hindi lalakas sa boses ng speaker. Pagkatapos, you have to avoid pop music at all costs kasi lahat po sila ay may copyright. Kapag nagnanarrate kayo, make sure na walang tumutugtog na pop music kasi po copyright yun. Cleanliness, keep the volume at optimal level. Be mindful of the noise around the recording area. Walang nagsasalitang ibang tao, walang kumakaul na aso, walang tumitilawak na anak. Don't breathe on the mic. Utang na loob po. Walang gagamit ng mic na sobrang lapit sa bibig kasi maririnig po kayo. Marinig yung paghinga, medyo hindi siya kaaya-aya sa pandinig. Next is stay away from electric fans and air cons kasi po nagkakaroon din sila ng similar effects sa breath. Saliva has sound. I learned this the hard way. Saliva has sound. Meron pong mga nagsasalita na yung mic sobrang lapit sa bibig. Pagkatapos magsasalita sila na medyo tumutunog yung laway, medyo kadiri po yung pakinggan. Let's be mindful of that. Huwag masyadong malapit sa bibig para hindi naririnig yung paggalaw ng saliva. Table taps and scratches are not so bad. Kapag gumagawa po kayo ng activity, yung pagkaskas to indicate friction, pagkatapos yung mga bubbling noise kapag nagbo-boil kayo, that's actually good. It is very, what do you call this? Immersive, in a sense. Para kayong, together with the experience of the one doing the video, mas nafe-feel nyo na kasama kayo. Okay, so tabletop, scratches, boiling, yung pagtunog ng kettle, yung pagtunog ng hot plate habang nagbo-boil kayo, that's actually good. It increases the experience. Pero wag po natin silang sobrang lakasan. Hindi nyo po sila kailangan tutukan ng mic na para kayo nag-video ng ASMR. So equipment, use the proper mic, large condenser mics for quiet places and low echo reverb. Yan. Pagkatapos po, small condenser mic para sa mga directional kapag tahimik yung lugar tapos gusto niyo ng konting ambient sound, kung gusto niyo isama yung pagbaboil ng tubig, pag-take ng temperature, yung pagtama ng glass sa glass, that is needed. Dynamic mics kapag maingay ang lugar. Kapag may nag-i-interview po, yan ang ginagamit nila na mic. Dynamic mics and lab mic. Okay, papakita ko po sa inyo. Escape muna natin yan. Balik po tayo dito and stop our presentation. I will show you these. Ito po ay example ng large condenser mic. Ang problema po dito, kailangan nyo ng power. Kailangan nila ng kuryente. And next, ito po ay small condenser mic. Yan. They are directional mics. Medyo pangit yung quality nitong isa. Meron siya nakita. I'll try to present on this one. Ayaw. Okay. Next, ito po ay small dynamic mic. Ito lang po yung mic. Yan. Kasi laki lang po siya ng daliri ko. Pero
Aaron, pwede bang sa harap ng sa harap mo ipakita yung mga mics?
Ito man, to. I'll try to use this one. How can I present using this one? Present screen. Ay, mali. Sorry. I'll just use this one. Ito, yan. Ito po yung ating small, balik tayo sa una. Large condenser mic, ito po. Pagkatapos, we have this small condenser mic. Ito po ay mga mic na sensitive sa tunog. The problem with them is kailangan po nila ng additional na, tawag dito, additional na power. So, hindi sila diretso na isasaksak. These are dynamic mics. Ito po yung mga mic na madalas niyo makita sa mga karaoke. The problem with them is medyo mababa ang kanilang quality. Pero kapag maingay yung lugar nyo, this is the best one to use kasi hindi po naririnig yung mga tao sa paligid. Kung sino lang yung malapit sa mic, sila lang yung naririnig. And this one is a small dynamic mic. They are the same, but this one is quite smaller and this is directional. And this comes with this. To keep out all the sound na mga galing sa, tag dito, hangin. Okay? Sila po ay ginagamit usually kapag nasa outdoor kayo or kailangan nyo ng mga experiment na nag-involve ng sound. Okay? So, let's go back to the other presentation. Present my screen. Share. Let's go back to this. Okay. Next, kailangan po nating intindihin na kasama ang host. Meron po ako dyan 3 example ng hosts. Sila po ay si Dustin from Smarter Everyday. Yung nasa baba naman po sa may bandang kanan is Kyle Hill, Because Science. And the one on the left is, I forgot his name, but this is It's Okay to Be Smart. Tandaan po natin, you have to look presentable, speak with confidence, and remember that this is a performance. Hindi po ako performer. Alam po natin lahat yan. Hindi po kayo YouTuber, pero kailangan na po nating intindihin yung fact na ang pinapanood po nila ay video. They are in it for the content. If you're gonna argue that kailangan nilang panoorin to, so hindi mo sila kailangang i-entertain. Again, bata po sila na kayang magbukas ng video at kayang magbukas ng cellphone at the same time na may ibang ginagawa. At hindi mo sila kayang suwayin. Kasi hindi mo nakikita kung anong ginagawa nila at home. So you just have to pray and hope na gagawin nila yon. Or, you add an additional layer of safety, you keep your videos interesting. This is a performance. So you see, sa bawat isang picture po na nandyan, they are all performing. They are witty. They have, and kaya na po, low-bat na siya. They all have, what do you call this? Personalities. And they all have character. What we follow here is usually the character. And hindi pwede na wala tayong ganun kahit nasabihin po natin na mahirap para sa atin na mag-perform. Ang kailangan po nating tandaan, this is not something that you can do just on your own. You can have help. Okay, wag po natin kalimutan. Nung ginawa ko po yung mga videos na yan, meron po akong isang tao na kasama. Siya po si Janina Villarico. Siya po yung nagawak ng camera, kasama ko po siya sa pag-aayos. This is not a solo performance. Pwede niyo pong i-include yung buong faculty. Pagkatapos, have them work on other things like yung lesson plan. Kailangan i-adjust yung activities. Yung isang maghahawak ng camera at saka mag-e-edit. It is a team effort. Bakit po? Kasi kayang gamitin ng bawat isang teacher on the same team. Example, ako, may kasama akong 4 na teachers on the same year level and we're going to teach the same things. So, we might as well use the same video para consistent ang activities, consistent ang delivery, consistent ang quality sa lahat. And then we can change hosts sa next video para hindi naman nakaka-burnout dun sa nasa harap ng camera na palaging nahihiya kasi palaging siya yung nakatapat. Okay, this can be a group effort. Mukha lang po akong solo dyan kasi ako lang yung nakikita pero meron po akong kasama sa likod ng camera na gumagawa ng content. Yung susunod na po is yung dalawang extra which are interaction and evaluation. Wala na po siya sa scope ng video. Kasi ang kailangan po natin tandaan, yung video is a stand-alone lecture on itself. The evaluation, that would come after the video. So, kailangan nyo pong mag-aral ng Google Sheets. Kailangan nyo pong mag-aral ng Google Classroom. So, you can have your interactions with your students after the video. Now, one good practice that I know of is kapag nagkaroon na po kayo ng schedule, let's say na ito yung activity natin for this week, 3. So they have watched 3 videos. Pagdating ng Friday, pwede tayong magawa ng video conference and then we do a Q&A. So yung questions ng bata, sasagutin po natin and then we record that video like this one and then you post it sa classroom, sa Google Classroom so that they can browse again and check on the questions asked by their classmates. Pagkatapos, pagdating naman po sa ating mga output, kailangan po nating tandaan. Kasi naman po sa totoong buhay, students are never alone. It's either they have friends to help them or they have Google to help them. That's the truth. Huwag na po kayong magalit na hindi po pwede na lahat ng bagay ay online. Tapos dapat lahat ng bagay ay may time limit. Yes, lahat po sila may time limit. Pero hindi po kailangan micromanage lahat ng bagay. Everything will be product-based. Pagkatapos po, hindi naman natin kailangan pilitin yung bata na panoorin mo to at this time, tapos dapat sabay-sabay tayo. That would be cruel. Hindi lahat ng bata may internet. You have to understand na may mga bata na hindi nila kayang mag-access. At paano yung mga bata na may module, hindi nila kayang mag-video. So you cannot force them to watch at the same time as you. So you cannot micromanage yung mga ginagawa nila. You can only check at the end of the week kung nagawa nila o hindi. Now, kung merong mga bata na gagawa ahead of time kasi present lahat ng videos, that would be good. Huwag natin papagalitan yung mga bata na tatapusin lahat. pero mag-share siya ng mga sagot. That's normal. Kasi kung ano man yung sources na ginamit niya, pwede niyang ibigay sa iba. And ganun din siya lalabas. Hindi niya kailangan ibigay yung mismong sagot niya, pwede niya lang ibigay kung saan nanggaling. And that's not bad. We have to remind ourselves na ito na po yung bagong normal. They are never alone. If they are alone, they always have Google and they can always work using all those things. I taught myself how to edit videos, how to perform using YouTube. Kaya din po nilang gawin yon. Kaya nilang maghanap ng ibang videos na magtuturo sa kanila. Hindi po cheating yun. They are just taking advantage of the system present to them at the moment. And yun na po. Wala na po akong ibang ipe-present kasi wala na rin naman po yung aking laptop. That aside, kung gusto nyo po or kailangan nyo po ng tutorials for editing, that should be on a separate video kasi it takes a lot of time to learn editing. Pero I assure you, pwede kayong mag-edit as simple as using Movie Maker. Kapag meron po kayong Movie Maker, lagay niyo yung video, lagay niyo yung audio, hindi niyo na po kailangan ng sobrang daming edit. Pag pinanood po natin yung mga video na meron ako, wala po silang edit talaga halos. Ako lang yon, gumagawa ng project, nagpa-fast forward ng onte, paminsan-minsan para hindi boring. And that's it. There's nothing special about these videos. These are the same videos that you watch on YouTube. They have to have good content, good quality video, good quality audio, an engaging host, and kung lecture to, you have to remind yourself that you have to make your own evaluations at the end kasi your lecture is nothing without the evaluation at the end. And you have to be in touch with your audience. You have to answer their questions. Otherwise, hindi na uulit sila magtatanong. Pag hindi nyo pinansin yung comments nila, tampuin sila, hindi na sila magtatanong ulit.
Thank you. Thank you, Jigs, Aaron. So, sabi ni Ma'am Christy, gusto daw niyang kumuha ng PowerPoint na copy. So, please
Yes, ma'am,
share with us the PowerPoint later. Okay, may mga tanong ba sa mga audience natin? Magtanong ba kayo?
Pwede mauna. Hello.
Mag-video ka na.
Tsaka na. Anyway.
Hi, sir.
So, pinakita mo yung mic mo, yung C1 Pro. Di ba ano yan? XLR. So, ang ginamit mo? Mixer o audio interface? Kasi namimili ako kung ano yung as a start. Siyempre, hindi ka naman bibili ng todo mahal dahil baka sa susunod ba, tinatamad ka na or baka may mas madaling gawain. So, na-curious lang ako nung pinakita mo yung mic. Out of stock na nga yan, buti meron ka pa.
Meron pong mga similar mics na hindi kailangan ng mga phantom power. Pero po usually ang ginagamit ko po talaga ito. This is not cheap. Merong cheaper na options. This one is a Zoom 4i4, H5. Hindi po ito kailangan. Meron pong nagbebenta sa Lazada ng bundle ng XLR mic kasama yung amplifier nila for only 800.
Oh yes, nakita ko nga yun eh. Naalala ko lang, bakit yung review kasi yung iba palyado, yung iba hindi. Nakakapanghinayang kasi na kahit mukhang mura lang, pag bumili ka ng 1,000 or 1,200 tapos hindi gumagana. Tapos kailangan mo na pala. Yun yung hassle. On the other hand naman, yung sobrang mahal naman, parang magdadalawang isip ko dahil baka after 6 months, ayaw mo na. So balikan ko lang yung tanong ko, so yung XLR mo, audio interface ang gamit mo or bumili ka ng console mixer mo?
Audio interface po. Ito po yung mismong ginagamit ko. This is an audio interface itself din po. Maliban po sa recorder, pwede po siyang isaksak sa computer para mag-record directly.
So parang yan na yung pinaka-buong system mo. Oh, that's nice.
Actually, meron pa din po akong mga gamit dito sa baba. Katulad po nun, may mixer din. And marami pa po akong mixer sa likod at saka amplifiers. Depende po talaga kung ano yung kailangan, pero the simplest one I have is this.
Okay. Yes.
The simplest one I have. Meron pong mga ganyan for, yung 800 po na sinasabi ko, nakabili na po ng ganun yung pinsan ko and it's of a good quality.
Ito, mas mara. Ito, Nelo.
So, may nakikita raw si Ma'am.
Nakikita nyo? Ito, nakikita nyo?
Ay, ma'am pa.
Yan.
Nakikita nyo?
Patingin ka, Ma'am.
Ito, condenser microphone.
Yan.
This is 689. Sada.
Meron pa po pala mas mura. Last time I checked
Kailan mo nakuha yan ng Christy? Kailan mo nabili?
Last, kailan ba? Saturday?
Bago
Ito, may condenser siya. Ito, pag nagsasalita, hello. Tapos, may extension para sa headset. This one. Tapos, ito ay kakabit mo sa laptop. This is for laptops talaga.
USB na yan. Mabilis ba dumating mo Christy? Mabilis dumating?
Ang alin? Ano
Yung
mabilis
order
dumating?
na in-order mo ngayon, nabutin pa lang isang buwan, hindi naman.
Hindi, mga 2 to 3 weeks.
2 to 3 weeks kaya.
Diba? Alit lang. Ang ganda-ganda niya. Diba?
Oo, ma'am.
Inassemble lang to. Jericho nag-assemble nito. Ito may microphone, may ano.
Oo.
Okay?
Ito na.
Sige. Share ko lang.
Salamat.
Okay, do we have any other questions po? Ako muna ang tawag dito, mag-take over kasi may construction na kayo music. By the way, I am the Learning Commons ng university. Right. Meron pa bang ibang questions coming from our guests here, or I mean to say from our friends, mga kasama rito, about dun sa diniscuss ni Jigs? Wala na? Ako na lang. Pasensya. Jigs, I have this question lang.
Yes, sir.
Ano yung assurance mo na particularly anong elements ng videos mo ang nagbibigay sa'yo na assurance that students are really interacting and really, how do I describe it? Parang engaged doon sa videos mo. Sa mga sa mga ginagawa ninyong videos, ano yung quality assurance niyo na magde-define na ang bata talaga ay mai-engage na gusto?
Actually po kasi sir, wala tayong magbibigay na assurance. Kasi again, they are not within our reach. So we can only hope and we can do our best na make it entertaining kasi yun lang yung isang dahilan kung bakit nanonood sila ng videos ngayon. Aside from the need, they will watch it once. For sure, kasi kailangan.
Okay.
Pero make sure na kailangan nilang panoorin ulit to really understand it and to really engage and listen. You have to make it entertaining. Yun na lang po talaga yung magagawa natin as of now. We can hope to be entertaining enough for them to actually listen and to actually learn. Kasi wala na po tayong ibang magagawa. Other than that, makikita nyo na lang sa views, makikita nyo na lang sa comments, pero there is no assurance.
Ikaw, I mean to say, on a personal note, ano yung ginagawa mo mismo para masabi mo na eto sa tingin mo, magkiklik to sa bata? So, katulad kanina, you said yung parang meron ka dapat na magic effect.
Okay.
Sa mga ano kasi na proven tested mo siya. Aside from that, do you add other elements? You add humor?
Yes.
How do you, parang kasi ganun yung ano yung nakikita ko na, how will you establish your presence so that students will really engage with you?
Okay, so you really have to search the social media for that. You have to be updated kung ano yung mga bago nilang pinagtatawanan. Kasi the thing with them is they do associations sa mga bagay na meron ngayon. For example, if you have something funny and then you can relate that to a concept or something that you said, mas madaling mag-stick sa kanila yun kasi they see it often sa page nila. And the more they see it in their timeline, the more they are reminded of the concept. And if you are funny enough and engaging enough, ipapakita pa nila ulit yun sa iba nilang kakilala. So I've had that video shared. Yung mga videos ko po, yung dalawa, one has 18,000 views in 3 years and hindi ako aabot ng 18,000 students. So for sure, merong nag-rewatch. For sure, merong nag-share sa iba. And meron akong mga kaibigan na teachers din na nagsabi na ginamit nila yung video for their classroom. And then they ended up watching it themselves kasi there is a need. Pagkatapos nakakatawa. Kasi hindi lang po yun yung video na nagpapakita ng ganong toy. It just so happened na merong mga nakakatawang elements doon. Tagalog siya, kaya madaling maintindihan ng iba na nahihirapan. Pagkatapos, there is this certain familiarity na kilala mo yung nagsasalita. Para sa mga students ko. Sa students
Okay.
ng iba, there is this certain recommendation na sinabi nilang kakilala nila, so they intend to watch. Kasi kakilala ng teacher mo. So kung meron kang teacher na parang may kilalang YouTuber, parang medyo wow. Nakakatawa.
So, YouTuber ka na.
Technically,
YouTuber ka na.
YouTuber na ako kasi nasa YouTube po ang aking content. I was
Okay.
intending to make the whole faculty of Manggahan a set of YouTubers. Kasi ang plano po namin talaga gumawa ng lecture videos. The only problem there is, naunahan kami ng Pasig. Kasi mandatory na gumawa kami ng videos na hindi namin ipopost. And they are all lecture. So,
Okay.
magre-revert po kami sa original plan. We are going to make remedial videos. These are videos na hindi siya structured formally and they are used for remedial purposes. So, they need to be more engaging, more simple. You have to talk in Taglish para maintindihan ng mga nakakasunod. Yun po ang aming target ngayon.
Okay. Just wanted to probe more, no? Kasi, okay, let me share with the rest of our participants in this YouTube, in this coffee talk. Pasensya ha, kasi nasa Learning Commons. So, parang importante na kamas. Okay. Ang ano ko lang ay, while listening to you earlier, I have 3 main points. First main point is this. You provided me yung translation ng actual thing na aking lecture with Aviva about social press, about creating your cognitive, your teaching, and your social presence in your instructional videos, which are really important. I commend nung sinabi mo kanina about copyright, intellectual rights, which are really essential. Kasi for most of us, parang ang gagawin natin, we just have to look on YouTube and then place it on our LMS and then insert in our videos. Pero na parang for some or for most parang hindi sila ganun ka-familiar on copyright context. Tapos kanina you mentioned that there are regulations sa YouTube, lang yung saan pwedeng kumuha na free, saan pwedeng kumuha na, I mean to say, na ikaw hindi ka pwedeng makulong or something like that. I guess we have to be reminded, lahat ng teachers, lalo na ngayon that we are migrating to online, we have to come up with that kind of knowledge that will equip us at the same time to safeguard us doon sa mga gagamitin natin. Pero I don't know if tama ba na meron bang regulations sa YouTube na basta gagamitin mo sa educational purposes, hindi ka pwedeng makasuhan?
Wala pa po akong na-check na gano'n na rights. Ang alam ko lang po is fair use policy na pwede kang gumamit ng parts ng video.
Yeah.
So your intent. Pero hindi mo pwedeng gamitin yung majority ng video. There is just a certain length allowable na pwede siyang gamitin. And then you have to cite saan sila nanggaling and they have to be in the description below. Pero ultimately, kapag gagawa ka ng material na offline, hindi yun pwede at all. Walang fair use policy sa offline kasi nawawalan ng revenue yung gumagawa. They can be cited as additional sources, but they cannot be played. Otherwise, mawawalan sila ng views.
Okay.
May share lang din ako regarding copyright.
Sige pa.
Let's say nasa YouTube ka or nasa kung anumang platform. Let's say meron kasi mga streaming live kagaya ng Twitch or ano pa man. Ang nangyayari pala, ito ay nagiging property na ng kung saan mong platform nilagay. So yung mga ibang artists, let's say singers, ang nangyayari, naging isa sa mga issue nila regarding sa royalties, hindi na parang pag-aari na ng platform.
So cross-platform copyright.
Yun bali mangyayari, hindi na ikaw. Kumbaga kasi parang it's contradicting the copyright law ng ating intellectual property na sa'yo galing yun nagkataon lang na they have the platform. So maganda sigurong remedyong nakikita ko dito. We have the creativity and the technicality to form our video lessons. Pwede tayong gumawa natin ng sariling website for that matter. Kasi kawawa ka na ginawa tapos hindi pala.
O baka yung ginagawa ni...
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Sir, regarding po sa paggawa ng sarili nating website, yung pag-share po ng videos, madali kang gawin through Facebook. The problem with your own website is hindi ganun karami ang users. So, hindi siya madaling i-spread. Pwede mo siyang ibigay, kaso yung playback ability niya is mababa. Kasi they have to open another site or another app to access it. Regarding cross-platform copyright, kunwari, meron kang in-upload sa YouTube, tapos in-upload mo rin sa Facebook, tapos nag-aaway ngayon sa YouTube at Facebook kung kanino dapat yung video, you can file copyright suit or appeal na pareho lang yung gumawa, and then pwede nilang tanggalin yung copyright strike. Again, sir, kapag nag-include po tayo ng third party, less yung playback ability niya. They would be less listened to or played by students kasi po they have to open another application or website just to view your content. Although having one is good. At least meron kang isang website na compiled lahat. But to have all of them just there is detrimental kasi hindi po siya madali.
Baga mangyayari pag may sarili kang website, sarili kang archive, whereas kung ang goal mo talaga ay ituro yan, handa ka ng isang issue yung copyright na hindi mapupunta sa'yo. So, mabalik ka parang community extension mo, giving back to the community. You give your talents away, the time and the effort for these platforms to own your laman.
No, sir. Hindi po. Nasa inyo pa rin po yung copyright nun per platform. Kaya lang, ang problema po kasi, the hassle there is, kailangan yung i-dispute lahat ng copyright strike. Yun yung tedious na part. Sa inyo pa rin yung video, you have full rights on all platforms. Kaso pag nag-away-away kasi sila, mawawala yung video on either one. Kung sa Facebook man mawala or sa YouTube man mawala. And then you have to file a dispute. Yun po yung hassle natin. Yun po yung kailangan natin pagdaanan as the content creator. Pagtatama ng copyright. And then we have to also be vigilant. Kung gusto natin kumita, sabihin natin gusto natin kumita doon sa ating ginawang video, mabilis po ang kita sa mga instructional videos sa totoo lang. Again, having only 3 videos and 400 subs, napakalaking bagay po ng 18K views sa isang video. Tapos kung marami yung content nun, mas mabilis siyang i-play. Gusto nyo kumita,
alam na natin.
Kumita as a faculty. Pwede nyo gamitin yung pang-outing, pang-improve ng mga equipments.
Wow, ang laki pala pang-outing.
May pera doon. Sobrang hirap nga lang talagang ilaban. Pero meron. You just have to be vigilant enough. You have to have the perseverance na hindi kayo susuko, na content ko to. Hindi nyo pwedeng tanggalin yan. Ako rin nag-upload yan.
Additional lang din. Doon sa sinabi ko kanina, di ba? Una yung, parang ganito, Mavic, ang na-imagine ko kanina while Aaron is sharing his PowerPoint and his experience when doing the instructional videos. Parang ang nasa akin, nung nag-share ako ng engaging with Aviva is, I purely think on the theoretical perspective. Pero Aaron gave me how it is implemented in real life. Yung yung pakulo mo, yung kukuhanin from this end, yung mga tips mo, those are the way we have to really establish on how we will be making our instructional videos more interacting, more engaging. We'll provide somehow yung feeling sa estudyante na nandoon sila sa classroom mo. Lalo na kunyari, naging estudyante mo sila before, tapos magiging estudyante mo sila for this school year, tapos makikita ka nila sa video. I think may ibang level of enticing para sa bata na nandoon sila at nafe-feel nila how you deliver your lecture, na parang nasa classroom sila, yung humor mo, yung personality, that's it. Kaya nga, nung binabasa ko kanina yung sinabi ni Ma'am Christy na, yun nga, yung humor niya, di ba? Importante yun kasi the way you present yourself, it's really important because more or less, sabi nga sa literature, 37% ng mga teachers na mayroong personality talaga at ginagamit nila sa videos nila yung personality nila, 37% silang more effective than those standalone instructor. Kaya sa tingin ko importante yung sinabi niya kanina. Pangalawa, doon sa we are promoting collaboration among them. Okay, collaboration. Let me emphasize dun yung yung inatenan natin, Ma'am Vic, na webinar with United Board, nung nagkaroon ng shutdown dito sa Hong Kong, nung February, nag-change kaagad ang mga universities ng kanilang protocols, and online hanggang sa ngayon, and even this coming school year, parang 5 of the 8 universities ang mag-go online. Pero isa sa trademark nila na ginawa ay nagbago sila ng system of assessment. Kasi alam nila na yung sinasabi mo kanina, Jigs, na students may, we have to realize that students, may kasama sila sa bahay. May mga kuya, may mga kapamilya. Kung wala man, nandiyan si Google. Tama ka doon. Akin siguro, we can go back, we can rearrange the components of assessment. Siguro mas mataas doon sa performance talaga. Tapos under performance, i-chunk natin yung process at doon natin sila bibigyan ng grades. Okay? And to give benefit din naman doon sa mga magbibigay ng hard work, ako siguro babalik tayo doon sa peer and self-evaluation forms. Baka pwede natin siyang i-implement. Tapos yung mga daily quizzes natin, I guess we go back with the principles of formative assessment. We just needed them in order to record, to give us feedback. If most of them really realize and understand what we are discussing with them. Okay? Pero hindi natin sila syempre sasama sa pag-compute ng grades. So, doon ako papasok pa rin doon sa sinabi sa atin kung paano tayo, I mean to say, how we structure the assessment part. Kasi nga, yun yung, we have to realize na iba na tong dimensions na to. Wala ka na doon. A lot of things can be in one click, makukuha mo na yung mga information na kailangan mo. Either doon nila natutunan sa video mo or nandun sa iba pang other resources available online. So we have to be more we have to take that into consideration. Okay. Last, tama ka, I agree with you. Nung in-structure mo kanina yung presentation mo, you have your content and presentation. I commend your tips, very practical pero evident na essentials. Okay. Tapos you have your interaction and evaluation, which I think inano mo na you were able to identify the major elements na kailangan siguro namin bilang teachers ma-realize and when we will be designing our own online instructional materials as a package. Diba? So yun yung yun yung parang kung i-interweave ko yung sinabi mo and present them into something academic, yung parang kung paano kami sa teacher niyo sa PNU magturo sa inyo ng theories, that's how I see it. Tapos, nung nag-discuss ka na kanina, na i-imagine ko na yung mga tinuturo namin ay natatranslate na into the real practice. Ganon. Yan, by the way, nagpalit ako ng gadget kasi lumipat ako. Feeling ko okay dito. Okay.
Sir, meron lang po akong kailangang i-add regarding sa paggawa ng videos. I forgot kasi meron pong nagtanong before na kung gagawa ng videos, paano mo maximize yung 1 hour? The answer there is you can't and you shouldn't maximize 1 hour.
Agree.
1 hour is almost the length of a movie. Ang viral videos, madaling i-play kasi ilang minuto lang tapos na masaya ka na ulit. Pagkatapos ang mga sobrang gaganda na comedy movies takes 1 to 1.5 hours, hindi mo sila kayang panoorin ng paulit-ulit araw-araw. You have to make sure na hindi sila mahaba. Kasi po, ang kailangan nating tandaan, kapag mahaba, nakita natin, ang hirap niyang panoorin, kahit titignan mo pa lang yung length ng video. I usually keep my videos at the length of 7 minutes and maximum 15 to 20. Kapag kailangan talaga, 20. Pero usually, nasa lang po, 7 to 15 minutes. Tandaan po natin na ang binibigay lang natin sa video ay yung lecture. Sa 1 hour, we are given this time to perform our prayers, to perform our attendance, pagkatapos energizer, pagkatapos drill, review, lecture, activity, assessment. And we are only looking at the lecture part. Or sige, sama na natin yung kung hindi man energizer is yung motivation. We post a question, and then we start our lecture. We end up the generalization, and then tapos na. That usually takes around 15 to 20 minutes sa classroom. Kasi may nagtatanong, Pagkatapos may sumisingit minsan may makulit, kailangan mong sawayin. Pero sa video, na ang meron lang is ikaw, tapos sila na supposedly dapat nakikinig lang, you have a very short time dapat na pwede mo siyang i-discuss. Keep it as simple as possible. Give only 1 to 2 meanings as much kasi kung marami, malilito lang sila. Keep it simple, keep it short. Ganun lang po palagi. Huwag palalampasin ng 20 minutes. Huwag na huwag. Ideal, 7 to 15. Yun na po ang ating videos.
Okay. Siguro i-back up ko yan ng literature doon sa na-share ko with some webinars na invite ako. I guess magpapatotoo si Dindin dyan. Okay? Na isa sa point ko doon, when you are creating your videos, you make it short but sweet. Sabi nga, may ibang discipline, for example, in language, they came up with a 3-second to 5-second video for their motivation, lalo yung mga microbloggers. Kasi ginagamit lang nila yung ganun kaiksi para ma-probe lang yung initial skills ng mga estudyante. So that's it. At the same time, sabi nga din, yung brain natin, meron lang specific na kakayahan lang to use all senses all together. Kaya nga siguro importante sa mga gumagawa ng films na merong mga twist yung kanilang mga storylines kasi doon na-activate yung brain cells natin para mag-engage ng gusto at hindi mapagod. Siguro katulad niyan, since magiging magiging heavy kasi yung content na i-deliver ng instructional videos. Kaya as much as possible, we have to make it shorter. Kaya yung sinabi mo rin na hindi kaya sa isang oras, tama, chunking. I-chunk mo yung concept. Kunyari, ang content mo ay laws of motion. Hindi mo pwedeng ma-discuss yung 3 laws of motion sa isang instructional videos. Make it sure, for example, first law sa, ano lang yun, first law part 1, parang ganun, 1 video. First law part 2, first law part 3, kasi isa pwedeng heavy content, isa heavy application, isa heavy mathematical approach. So, that's how I see it. Okay? Short and sweet. Bakit Emerson? Nanood ka rin ba Emerson noon?
Late si Emerson. Okay, may mga tanong pa ba?
I think pero pa pong tanong dun sa binigay niyo sa akin kahapon, ma'am. The problem is I cannot access it right now kasi wala siya sa screen ko. Nasa ano po ba yung questions na pinasa niyo sa akin?
Ako, Jigs, may tanong ako doon.
Yes, sir.
Ano yung pinakamadaling application na gamitin for video editing?
The easiest one is, ang cheesy niyang sabihin, pero it's the one that you know. Kasi po, again, yung videos na papanoorin nyo or makikita nyo na ginawa ko, wala silang masyadong edit talaga. Nagkakaroon lang sila ng konting text sa gilid, tapos konting fast forward, at saka background music. The one that I use is Adobe Premiere Pro. Pero sobrang basic lang nung ginagamit ko sa kanya in terms of editing. Hindi ko ginagamit yung buong array ng filter,
yes.
yung lahat ng effects. No, as much as possible, walang effects. It's quite cheesy. Usually lang ginagamit namin jump cut. Pag sinabing jump cut, eto yung mukha ko, cut, next na agad na video. Kapag may mga transition na ganyan, medyo cheesy yun. And nagigets na po ng bata yun. Yung quality nun medyo bumababa. The more cheesy it gets, the quality gets.
Kasi yung nag-invite sa'yo, may habang na yan, marunong na siya gumamit ng Adobe Premiere. Yun ang pinagmamalaki niya sa akin.
It's quite engaging if you use Premiere, lalo na kung sasamahan mo ng After Effects, yung may mga gumagalaw-galaw sa gilid, kasabay, that is good. The problem here is we are going to implement this on a large scale kasi we want teachers to do this. That cannot be taught easily. Kasi po ako, personally, I teach myself to this moment ng mga kailangan ko sa videos. Kapag may nakakalimutan ako, I go to YouTube and check. Kunwari, gusto ko ng text na gumagalaw at this certain position tas mawawala. I check. Kasi hindi ko po sila kaya memorize lahat. It's a constant process of teaching and relearning. Pagkatapos gagamit ng iba, ganun ulit. Kaya mahirap po siyang ituro per se. Kasi sobrang daming techniques na pwedeng gamitin. The easiest ones, yung mga nasa cellphone. Pwede yun. Naglalagay na rin sila ng background music automatic. And it's not of a bad quality. Meron akong kilala na gumagawa ng ganun for promotional videos. Promotional yung ginagamit sa mga Facebook na magagandang videos. And he uses his phone. Can be done. You just have to pick one, learn it,
Di ba
do it.
magtanong ng panghuling tanong, Aaron? Yung sa mga video na create mo, kasi parang isa sa mga problema sa mga estudyante, di ba yung sa bandwidth, na nako-compress mo ba? Or as in raw na talaga yung ginagamit?
Naka-compress po siya, sir, at MP4. Pero kapag in-upload niyo po kasi siya sa YouTube or sa Facebook, meron silang sariling compression. So no matter what quality you upload, they would upload it into their own quality and then would be played back sa capacity ng internet na meron yung bata. So if you upload 4K, they can get it at 4K kung meron silang mabilis na internet. Pero kung wala silang mabilis na internet, they can get it at 480p sa maliit na screen, which is still okay. And that would be enough to learn. You can go as high as you want. The platforms here are ready to adopt kung ano man yung meron ng bata. You just have to make sure na meron kayong malalaking text kasi yung iba maliliit yung screen.
Okay,
Don't
Oo nga, no?
kasi
Ang video
ginagamit nila maliliit.
Salamat.
Tapos kapag maliit, mabilis mag-pixelate, mawawala agad yung details. Use large text and photos.
May question dito. Hindi ko alam kung kanino ina-attribute ni Emerson yung question niya. Sa'yo ba, Sir Aaron, o kay Sir Nelson, o sa akin?
Suggested format po ba kayo ng content?
Yan.
Flow. Format flow. Again, maiksi lang po yung oras natin. Usually, ano lang siya. Motivation, content, generalization. Done. Ganun lang po siya. Wala lang masyadong iba kasi kapag nag-post tayo ng iba't ibang forms, you usually have to do a lot of preparations. The thing with the basic one is it works. You just have to give it a little flair. Mayroon tayong mga example, Nas Daily. Meron siyang 1-minute video. 1 minute exactly. And he keeps on spouting everything fast and everything is hype. Kaso the information is quite simple. That would also work and that is very engaging. Masarap siyang i-playback. And it is very, anong tawag dun? Inspiring. Kasi yung pagsasalita niya, dahil 1 minute lang yung todo, bomba talaga. That could be one. Pero the process and the flow is still the same. You present your objectives to motivate them. You tell them what you need to tell them. And then you tell them again as your generalization. Ganun po.
Sa akin, sa tingin ko, yung siguro baka ang hinahanap ni Emerson yung ano nila, yung parang how DepEd has structured instructional videos. Sa tingin ko, baka pwede lang din natin i-follow yung nakagawian na natin ng mga learning cycles. Example, yung 5 E's. Pero sabi mo nga, Aaron, kanina, you have to squeeze them in a shorter time frame.
Yes.
Siguro yung kunyari may learning activities ka, siguro pwedeng additional part siya ng buong buong learning structure, pero outside na siya sa instructional videos mo. Parang sasabihin mo lang na you will be performing this, you can check on your folders, ito yung file name, tas gawin niyo para siguro yung yung level of interactivity ng instructional video ay mataas. Kasi sabi mo nga, ipe-playback ulit ng bata yung pakikinig doon sa concept na diniscuss mo, which is highly related doon sa instructional sheets or activity sheets na kanilang ipe-perform after watching and then rewatching your video. Yun.
Yes, sir. Doon lang po talaga tayo magkakaroon ng changes pagdating ng implementation ng activities. But pagdating po kasi sa video itself, wala na po talaga tayong masyadong leeway. Kasi kailangan lang talaga nating mag-present ng concept. And everything na palabok in between, kunwari, post this video and do this. Pwede yun. However, it doesn't impact much on the video itself. Actually, kung ipopost mo siya, there is more likeliness na hindi babalik yung manonood. Yeah, may mga pakulong ganun sa ibang channel and you can do that. Tapos may mga interactive links na you can click para mapunta ka agad dun sa exam that they can do it ng kasabay ng sayo. That can be done. Pero that is outside the format of the video. Tama po yung sinabi niya, sir.
I guess we already are over time. Narinig yung mga construction.
Yes,
Construction noise sa background ko. May I request na Sir Palomar to close this one. Thank you very much, Aaron, for your very
Hala.
meaningful sharing today. Dahil kahit busy ka, you gave us
Yes.
your time. So, Sir ER, please close this program. And then after you, we will have our picture taking.
Yes, yes. Siguro ganito, Aaron, nung first things first, I'd like to extend my thanks in behalf of our Ma'am Vic Marie Camacho in her Coffee Talk online with Vic Marie. Thank you very much for engaging with us. Unang-una, um, hindi ako na honestly, hindi ako tawag dito. Ako ang nagsabi kay Ma'am Vic to invite you here kasi para sa akin yung experience mo is something essential na hindi namin na-experience at for us na mag-merge o magda-dive sa online setting, it's something very practical. Gusto ko yung mga points na in-establish mo for the content and the presentation. It's really practical. You, as what I mentioned earlier, you translated the theoretical perspective into the real actual classroom setting. And for the past 8 years that you've been out from PMU, parang I would say na ano bang magandang term? Nakakagulat kung paano kayo nag-transform. Hindi lang siguro ikaw. A lot of you, may mga inobserbahan ako na naging estudyante ko, na naging part ng paper ko, na ako mismo na bigla how all of you guys transform into something na ako hindi ko ina-expect na magiging ganyan kayo. Iba siguro yung judgment ko nung kayo mga naging estudyante ko. Okay, but I commend your efforts as teachers. I commend your initiatives as teachers na this kind of online shift to online instruction is quite challenging, but you guys embrace it. Hindi siguro dahil sa we are imposed, pero katulad sa case mo, Jigs, kasi naging mo na yun naging passion mo na to eh. At eventually, shape up mo na lang to into the instructional purposes. I admire that kind of that perspective kasi hindi naman lahat gusto pumunta dito sa online mag-migrate into online instruction. Pero what seems to be more important is that we are open to this kind of challenges. We try to swim, and once we survive, what's more important is how you impart what you have learned. And siguro maganda rin yung yung aspirations na lahat sila diyan sa manggahan may pare-parang you try to influence them to have the same kind of perspective. Hindi man ikaw yung captain, pero you are significant enough in order for others to go into that kind of migration and experience. Ang ano ko na lang, Jigs, ang challenge ko ngayon sa'yo is this. Try to document everything. Na kung ano yung mga naging challenges ninyo, paano nyo in-overcome sa team. Kasi oo, tama pala yung sinabi mo niya kanina, team effort yon. Okay? Which is, kasi marami ka ng skills na dapat nang i-perform outside your classroom competencies. The online instruction has a lot of competencies also, and you have to do it by team. So sa tingin ko, yun yung challenge ko. I-document ninyo, ano yung mga na-overcome ninyo, ano yung mga na-encounter ninyo, how do you overcome it, and then eventually share either on your YouTube account or in a research platform or in a conference platform. Kasi we are building kind of new knowledge out of this new normal that we are encountering. Okay. So with that, thank you very much. And I guess, final words from Professor Camacho.
Thank you very much sa mga wise words niyo today, and I hope Emerson and Dean could also share something later on kung ano na nangyayari sa mga buhay nila, and Joanna also would be able to share something that they have been working and continue to what are their contribution to the improvement or to the how we could do or make our classes easy this next season. Okay, so this is just tama ka, Sir ER, sharing the best practices from those who are really immersed in the grassroots. Ang PNU is doing theory, and the people that are there in the field are the ones really doing the hard work. And we are really very happy na you have been fruitful, at saka we've learned so many things from you. Thank you talaga, Aaron, and thank you sa raising the flag of BSE Batch 2012. Tama? 2012.
Thank you.
Okay, so hopefully Aye could also share, and maybe Odi and Joey in the next sessions natin if we will have the time. So maraming salamat, and let's take a picture before we will have to leave this show. Please turn on your camera and prepare your mugs.
Kailangan may mug.
Ganon. Kasi coffee talk
Ano
lang.
mug, Aaron?
So, Ma'am Christy, wala. Wala pang video.
Bilis na?
Hindi, nandiyan pa, pero wala pa siyang video.
Congratulations again. Grabe, ang laki ng mug.
Nasaan si Dindin? Bakit ayaw?
Okay?
Yan. Oh.
Masyadong nadilim against the light kasi hindi kasi ako physics. Ayan si Ate Christy. Ayan. Thank you. See you around on our next session. Bye-bye.
Thank you po sa lahat.
Thank you, Jigs.
Salamat, Aaron.
Thank you, everyone.